Imagine a man who has everything people usually pray for, like a good family, money, a successful business waiting for him to take over, a wife who loves him and everything. At first, he started drinking in college, then cannabis, then cocaine, LSD, MDMA, mushrooms, prescription pills, and slowly the same man who looked like he had everything starts losing himself. This is the story of one client who came to Abhasa and how we helped him recover. We are keeping him anonymous, but the journey is real. And we are sharing this because there are so many families who are watching this video and their loved ones may have similar struggles. Through this video, we really hope you understand that recovery and rehabilitation from addiction is very much possible.
Like many young people, he first drank to fit in with friends. Then tobacco came in. Then cannabis. At that stage, nobody around him thought it would become serious. It just started as fun and one-time experimentation. After his studies, he moved abroad to work in his father's business. Now he had money, freedom, access, but no clear direction. So his substance use continued. From outside, he was still functioning, but privately, he was using more substances, getting into risky relationships, making impulsive decisions, and slowly becoming detached from his own life. Then once he got married, he stopped many substances except cannabis. He told himself that cannabis is nothing when compared to what he was used before. Later, after a pilgrimage, he decided to stop cannabis also, and for a while, he stayed sober and his life looked stable again. But the cravings and the emptiness did not fully go away. That's when the old pattern started returning. The biggest fall came when he started using cocaine again. At first, it was occasional, then it became regular, then he began to use it daily, and eventually he moved from snorting small amounts to smoking freebase cocaine. That is when his wife started seeing a completely different man. He became irritable, distant, restless, secretive, emotionally unavailable, and so on. And over time, he added MDMA, LSD, cannabis, and prescription drugs again. He was no longer using all these substances to enjoy life. He was using them to escape life. Then unfortunately, when his father passed away, that grief, along with financial freedom, pushed him deeper. He spent heavily on cars, luxury items, and anything that gave a temporary high. But no amount of money could fill that he was trying to numb. Finally, his wife found him using cocaine. When she confronted him, he did not accept responsibility. He blamed her and said that problem was the distance between them. By then, his health was also breaking down. He could not sleep, he had no appetite, he was restless, his anger became unpredictable. His wife could not manage it alone anymore. So she reached out to her sisters and together they convinced him to come for treatment. He agreed because he was scared of losing his family.
What we found clinically, when he came to Abhasa, the first few days were not easy. During the intake process, we found that he had tried to sneak substances into the facility by hiding them in his clothes. That one incident told us something important. His addiction was not ready to let go. So the first step was to stabilize him. A psychiatrist prescribed medications to help manage withdrawals, sleep disturbances, restlessness, and cravings. But the medication alone was not enough. We needed to understand the full person. So, we took a detailed history from him and from his family. We found that there was a family history of substance use. We also understood the emotional background. His parents had separated and his father had remarried. They were unresolved wounds, family complexity, and deep need for control, validation, and escape. This is why we always say addiction is not only about the substance, it is also about the pain, personality, family history, coping style, and brain patterns behind it. We also conducted detailed assessments including QEEG brain mapping and psychometric evaluation. The QEEG showed patterns of constant restlessness. His brain was not settling easily. There were signs linked to impulsivity, sleep difficulty, and obsessive thinking. The psychometric evaluation showed compulsive tendencies, narcissistic traits, and dissocial personality tendencies. Before treating him, we understood everything we can about him, because if we only treat cocaine and cannabis addiction, we miss the person behind the addiction. In the beginning, he blamed others and struggled to see his role in what happened. So, we started motivational enhancement therapy. Slowly, his defensiveness reduced. Then, we introduced cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT helped him identify the thoughts that kept pulling him back. He began to see how these thoughts were not helping him. They were protecting the addiction. And as trust built in therapy, he started accepting his role in addiction slowly. And that shift was very important.
His wife also needed help, and I think this is something many families forget. When one person is addicted, the whole family becomes a victim to addiction. His wife had gone through betrayal, fear, confusion, anger, and emotional exhaustion. She had seen her husband disappear into substances. She had also been pulled into certain unhealthy patterns without fully understanding where things were going. So we did not only treat him, we supported her too. Because recovery is not complete if the family is still bleeding silently. She received therapy, including CBT and ACT, that is, acceptance and commitment therapy. She learned how to understand her pain without blaming herself and how to set boundaries. More than everything, she learned how to support his recovery without losing herself. And later, they came together for couple therapy. Though it was not easy, slowly both of them began to communicate differently. And that was a big moment because addiction not only damaged his body, it had damaged trust. And rebuilding trust takes honesty, time, and repeated change.
Toward the later part of his treatment, we focused deeply on relapse prevention because recovery is not just staying sober inside a safe center. Recovery is learning how to stay sober when life becomes stressful again. So we taught him how to identify his triggers and the respective coping skills, like how to pause before reacting, how to talk instead of stonewalling, how to sit with discomfort, how to handle cravings, how to take responsibility without collapsing into shame. One of the biggest victories was that he stopped smoking. This was something he had struggled with for years. He also reconnected with religious practices as a way to come back to discipline, meaning, and inner stability. Before discharge, he was taken for supervised outings. This helped him practice what he had learned in real-world situations. Because going back home is not just a physical return, it is a test of new habits. Even after discharge, he stayed connected with the treatment team. He continued working in his sobriety, his marriage, and his role as a husband and father.
We are not sharing the story to say recovery is easy. It is not. There will be cravings, there will be shame, and there will be moments where the person wants to run back to their old life. But this story shows something very important. No one is too far gone to begin again. This man had money, access, freedom, grief, family wounds, impulsive patterns, and years of substance use. But once he received the right care, the right diagnosis, the right therapy, and the right family support, his life started changing. So, if your loved one is struggling with addiction of any kind, don't lose hope because recovery is possible.